Hello, this is Scrapping Amy and welcome back to One Mommy Scrapping. Today I have a process video for you using the Tonic Craft Kit number 27, and I am using Photoplay's Mad for Plaid Fall with it as well. This video in particular is for the Victoria Marie YouTube Masterclass Hop, which I participated in for the fall 2019 class. So I have links to all of the class members' YouTube channels down below. Please check their videos out, like, comment, and subscribe here and on their channels if you aren't already doing so. So I have used the fall leaves die. They included one that looks kind of like an oak leaf and another that looks like a maple leaf. And what I like about it is they came with accompanying stamps for the veins of the leaves, which I thought was really nice. Now this kit is primarily a card kit, so that green ring you see there I think is supposed to be used for a card center, and I wanted to use it and cut it apart to include as vines in this leaf wreath. Boy, it's hard to say. This leaf wreath that I have in mind. It also came with those little ivy sections, and those I thought would add some more as well to this wreath that I have in my mind. You saw me grab a glass bowl. I just traced it with a pencil and decided to use that as my guide. Any pencil that ends up showing, I can always remove. I don't think I end up needing to do that at all though. The kit came with these large 1-inch foam squares, which I thought was brilliant. I have never had foam squares that big, but I think that's going to be something I'm going to look into getting some more of. It also came with some alcohol markers. Now the Noze alcohol markers are double tipped. They have a fine tip and a broad tip, chisel tip. They came with 3 browns that look lovely together. Garlic clove is the lightest, then there's brown sugar is the mid-tone, and coconut shell is the darkest shade. And you can see I kind of traced around my circle there with the markers. This did not turn out how I wanted it to, so I decided, you know what, I'm just going to go with it. I end up covering it all up. I think I'm looking at my layout now and I don't see any of it anywhere. But again, it's more than I'm using it as a guide. All of these they're not flowers, they're leaves. All of these leaves you see me gluing down, I went and cut, stamped, and edged ahead of time. So I used the alcohol markers kind of like I normally do with my inking, but I was able to do some variety of color depth. So depending on what it was, I used, depending on the color of the leaf, I used different markers for it. And sometimes I used 2, and on a couple of them I actually used all 3 of the colors to add some of that depth. The washi tape you're seeing me use also came with the craft kit, and they would not necessarily be patterns I would pick up. That circular one that I used on the top is one I wouldn't have looked for, and if I'd seen it in the store, I probably wouldn't have gotten. I actually quite like it, seeing it on the page. I am amazed at how much it added. You can, when I'm done, you can hardly see the stuff at the bottom, but it's so nice seeing those little peaks of color throughout it. At the top with those washi strips, I end up using that as the base for my title. Some of the leaves I've curled up at the edges to give some depth. I purposely left a lot of them flat because I knew they would be behind it. The other thing I wanted to say that I did with my leaves is I used my very first Noze glitter marker. If you watch my unboxing video, I was very excited about this, and I still am. I quite like this marker. So a lot of the leaves I have edged with that just to give it a bit of a glittery shine to it. Most of the leaves are not cut out of paper from the photo play pack. It's just scrap paper. I have a scrap bin at my feet that I keep larger pieces where I've used most of the collection and don't really have anything left. So that's what I tend to pull on when I want to die cut things. And my daughter will often pull from that same file when she wants to make cards for her friends. So my title is Peanut Butter Nose, and I end up changing the S in nose to a Z. There, right there actually. And it's kind of mimicking like what we see online with the animals talking and their lack of spelling skills. But we had put peanut butter on my daughter's nose to tease her. She was laying with Tucker. She was laying on our ottoman, and Tucker kept coming up and sniffing her. And my husband went and grabbed some peanut butter and just dolloped it on her nose. And he's like, "Can I eat this?" So those white foam stickers, I am using, I colored the entire, each of them with the chisel tip garlic of the alcohol marker garlic clove. And then I took the medium tone brown sugar and just dotted it, put it at the top, and used my finger to kind of smudge it. So it actually has like a two-tone ombre look to it, which I think looks really cool. I want to do this with some more alcohol markers. This opens up a whole new world, essentially, of things I could do with plain white foam. So many times I have the white foam, it's not the right color, but it's the right phrase if I've got those lovely puffy phrases, and so I don't use it. And this is like, oh, gives me more options. It makes me think too, some of my other foam stickers, that I could easily recolor it when they don't quite match, and I'm betting I could do that with the glitter stuff and even the chipboard. So I'm adding in these ivy pieces. That circle I cut up, I used all 4 of the parts, and it's a nice added depth of color. The color I used is the olive card that came with the kit. So tone-wise, it works very well as a fall color. And some of these leaves I'm putting up on foam. I've just taken that same 1-inch square craft foam that was included in the kit and cut those as well. So I'm continuing to put on more leaves. I wish I had counted how many leaves I cut out. There was quite a stack. But now I want to kind of overlap some at the top a little bit. I feel like I could have put a little more. That yellow one right above the second part with the word nut, to me feels like it needs something on top there, and I end up not putting anything there. And I don't know, I'm looking at my layout right now as I'm doing this voiceover, and it makes me go, do I want to put something there or not? But it's interesting to me how many of these leaves get covered up and you only see a tiny bit of it, but it works so well. I decided for some of these last ones, kind of wanted them looking like they were falling from the photo. There I am showing it to my friend Miranda, who I am video chatting with. And now it's time for me to grab some stickers. That little tab says "Nuts About You." And this is actually a tag that, interestingly enough, I included. I thought about cutting the little top part off and just using it as a sign, but it gave me the opportunity to include some twine for some added texture. It says "Let's Get Cozy." And I try to figure out where to put it because something needs to go at that top left. And it ends up going under the photo. I do eventually move it over slightly so that it's the letter C is not covered up. And then I found this banner that I removed the foam, or removed the sticky, and put up on some more foam. It says "So Grateful for You," which rather sums up how we feel about Tucker and Elizabeth. Nothing else is really going to go on. Oh wait, I did find this one little plaid heart that goes up by the title. I couldn't really figure out what other stickers to use, so it is time to grab the Nouveau drops. I do something I don't normally do. I am mixing drop finishes, but I'm keeping them all in the brown family. So for gloss drops, I have dark walnut. For metallic, I have copper penny. And for glitter, I have golden sunset. And you'll see those drops in the close-up photos. I kind of sprinkle them liberally. Normally I do my dots kind of in those groups of 3 in different parts I want to draw your eyes to. But for this being a wreath, I decided they just needed to go everywhere in this wreath. And I certainly put them everywhere. They are all over. And finally, at the very end, you'll see me take my Nouveau glitter marker. It's in Iced Americano. And I just went around literally dotting it all over my layout. And as I look at it, I don't really notice those first off, but then the light will catch the glitter and it's just like, oh, that's so pretty. So I'm quite happy that I decided to do that. Still shots are coming up next, and please check out all of the links in this wonderful hop. This was a fabulous class, and I cannot recommend it enough to those of you who want to get started in YouTube. It is absolutely wonderful. Victoria Marie is such a great teacher and has lots of helpful advice. So I hope you guys all have a lovely evening. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye.